Welcome to the podcast series of the Erasmus Plus project, Learners as Co-Creators of Their Own Learning, or LECOVE. In this episode, we are telling about Latvia's experience, and we, Aija Tūna and Sandra Prince, are talking with the teacher of Ventspils Secondary School number 4, Kristīne Kornijanova, and her students of grade 11, Evelīna Šefenberga, and now already the graduate of the school, Elizabete Klēra Bože. Our talk will be about how students' participation is manifested in practice in constructing the teaching-learning process and how to promote students' engagement. During this talk, we would like to find out how teachers and their students understand students' engagement, as well as to find out some practical strategies for promoting student engagement that other teachers could find beneficial. We will ask Kristīne and her students also which, to their mind, benefits are and what challenges it raises for each involved party. And, of course, we will ask our speakers to share concrete experience, examples, both in using cultural events in acquisition of the learning content for mastering the civic education and civic engagement skills. We hope that you will find this talk interesting and useful. So, our topic for today is student engagement in the construction of learning process. We will start with a comprehension question. How do you understand, or what does student and teachers' cooperation mean for the learning in the teaching-learning process? Kristīne, please.
First of all, this cooperation means that it is joint work. It is the work invested by the teacher, and definitely when the teacher has done her job, then entering the classroom or meeting her students, some activity is expected also from them. The cooperation emerges in this joint synergy.
Thank you. And how does it look for you?
To my mind, it's a story about communication. Good communication between the student and the teacher. And they also think that this allows better implementation of ideas.
Sounds good. And what about you?
I would probably like to stress just one phrase. It is mutual respect. Working together, communicating also fall under this because without this mutual respect and understanding, nothing further happens.
It sounds really good. It doesn't remind of the traditional vertical structure, but cooperation, which is based on respect and the situation when the teacher controls the process and forces work for all.
At school, students themselves should lead different events. Of course, the adult could do it better, but this is a learning process which could not be mastered any other way, only by doing. Leading the event yourself, experiencing how it feels to lead a process. Evelīna also just led the event. It was her first time. Afterwards, we discussed it. It is the way how to learn. And also now other students lead the project event. And also for her, this is the first time when she led the event. Thought how to fill in the pauses. This is great art that could be learned, and it can be only learned only by doing, and the teacher should step aside. Of course, there are individual skills mastered by the student, but it's also some knowledge which can refer to during the process. If we have participated in some event, just recently we had a Zoom meeting with the Deputy of the European Parliament. It was about the given topic, and afterwards we can refer to this, and it is also very good that there is not only me with my knowledge, but also there are people who speak like that, who have that opinion. So all this could be definitely used in the learning process. It's good that you can refer to.
Evelīna, we would like to hear an example from your experience.
Yes, there have been situations when we are given the possibility to choose. For example, during social studies study classes, when we can choose whether to write an essay on the topic or make a presentation. But also, during the mathematics classes, we can choose among different tasks and exercises and first do the ones that we consider more needed.
Girls, I would like to ask, do I really hear correctly that there is still this tradition that the teacher, the adult, is the one who knows better what I should do, and it's quite comfortable to stay with that and act in that frame?
I think it is more of a stereotype which has to be broken, and therefore it is important to collaborate. And this collaboration shows that this experience compensates many things, and the young person's thinking can very well go together with this experience. And therefore, doing things together, they can find something better.
Should something be done differently to achieve the student engagement?
It largely depends on the teacher's personality. Whether the teacher is ready for that, because to my mind, that is, we can certainly speak about some generation conflict or so on, but actually do not believe in it, because there are people who want to change and people who don't want to change. And unfortunately, today's reality, today's environment, it's such that young people come with more claims. They are more pretentious, they are more demanding, and often they are not ashamed to reapproach if someone has not prepared for the lesson. So the whole process firstly starts with the fact that teacher herself has to change, that she is ready to stand on the same footing, and that's what we are discussing. And that's very good to my mind. I like the out-of-the-class activities, events we can meet with young people, we can plan and do together, we laugh, we develop our inside jokes, and so. And when to return to the teaching learning process, it does not mean that the teacher loses some respect. To me, I think the teacher obtains a face. The teacher appears to be more humane, and the teacher does not want to lose her authority. To keep that teacher image, it is difficult in today's school. At this moment, the teacher should not be ready to delegate some part of the responsibility for the learning process to the young person. Well, my experience, yes, some can cope with it. Others handle it very nicely, and this collaboration and joint learning enriches both sides, definitely. I don't know how Evelyn feels about it.
Yes, and I also think that it helps a lot if you can spend more time with the teacher after the lessons and to get acquainted with her better. Then you also perceive the teaching learning process a bit differently.
The teacher herself has to remember and to show students that he or she is also a person. And when these human relations develop, then together it's possible to perform more unpleasant and harder tasks.
We hope that you like this podcast episode. The Lekole Collaboration Project and the podcast series are funded by the Erasmus Plus program. The aim of the project is for the partner countries to explore the experience and best practice how to develop such teaching learning environment that promotes students and teachers' active cooperation, learning from each other, and co-responsibility for planning, implementing, and evaluating the teaching learning process at school and beyond. To our mind, exactly in such an environment, students become the co-creators of their own learning. The project is coordinated by the National Centre for Education of the Republic of Latvia in cooperation with partners, Marino Institute of Education of Ireland, Education Development Centre from Latvia, Portugal Ministry of Education and Science, European Education and Learning Institute in Greece, and University of Iceland. If you want to learn more about Lekole project, visit the homepages of National Centre for Education and the Education Development Centre. The full transcript of this interview, along with the other materials, is available in English, Latvian, Portuguese, Icelandic, and Greek for all those who are interested in co-creation, participation, and active engagement of young people in the construction of the learning process. We hope you will join us also in the next podcast episode to learn more about students' engagement in the co-creation and guidance of the learning process.